Power has never belonged to the emotional, the impulsive, or the easily provoked. Throughout history, the strongest individuals were not the loudest. They were the calmest minds in the room. Emotional coldness is not about becoming empty or unfeeling. It is about possessing the kind of internal discipline that allows you to observe everything yet remain disturbed by nothing. When a person reacts emotionally, they show their hand. They reveal what offends them, what scares them, what pressures them, and what controls them. The moment someone can trigger you, they own a piece of you. That is the paradox of power. To gain control over the world, you must first gain control over yourself. Most people move through life allowing their emotions to be pulled by external forces. A disrespectful tone can shatter their confidence, a betrayal can consume their thoughts, and a challenge can ignite their ego. All these reactions expose their inner state. They become transparent, readable, predictable. People who are emotionally predictable can be manipulated with the slightest push. You can provoke them into mistakes, cloud their judgment, or drive them to reveal their intentions. Their emotions become strings others can easily pull. This is why emotional coldness is the foundation of power. It is the shield that prevents anyone from entering your psychological space. Being emotionally cold does not mean suppressing your emotions. Suppression only intensifies what you refuse to confront. Emotional coldness means stepping back from your internal storms and looking at them without being consumed. It is the ability to feel anger rising and still remain unmoved by it. It is the ability to detect fear, yet not let it steer your decisions. It is the ability to hear an insult and understand that reacting only validates the enemy. When you practice this level of self-control, you stop living at the mercy of the moment. The world can strike, but it cannot sway you. At the core of emotional coldness lies a deep understanding. The world rewards stability and punishes volatility. A stable mind sees opportunity where emotional minds see threats. When you are calm, you can read the room, decode intentions, and adjust your strategy without revealing anything. Emotional individuals announce themselves before they even enter the battlefield. Their highs and lows broadcast their weaknesses. But the cold mind remains unreadable, unpredictable, and therefore untouchable. Others cannot figure out what you want, what you fear, or what you are planning. This confuses them, and confusion is the soil in which influence grows. To cultivate emotional coldness, one must separate ego from strategy. Ego reacts, strategy observes. Ego wants to prove a point. Strategy wants to win. Ego demands recognition. Strategy demands results. When someone challenges your ego, the emotional person takes the bait instantly. They defend themselves, argue, raise their voice, or try to appear dominant. But none of that is strength. It is the opposite. The powerful do not explain themselves. They do not argue with fools. They do not defend every attack. Their silence is stronger than any emotional outburst. Their calmness creates fear in those who seek to provoke them. And nothing is more unsettling than a person who calmly observes you while you try desperately to disturb them. Emotional coldness also gives you control over timing. The impulsive act immediately. They strike too early or too late. They reveal their strategy while trying to execute it. The emotionally cold observe first. They wait, they watch, they gather information, and when they act, it is with precision. Their actions are not driven by impatience or irritation, but by calculation. This ability to delay reaction is one of the highest forms of power. It allows you to shape outcomes rather than be shaped by them. In this state, people begin to sense something different about you. They start to treat you cautiously. They choose their words with more care. They hesitate before crossing you. Emotional chaos in others sharpens your advantage. While they panic, you remain still. While they lose control, you tighten yours. This contrast elevates your presence. The world instinctively respects those who appear unshaken because most people are constantly shaken by something. Emotional coldness separates you from the masses. It makes you rare, and rarity is influence. Ultimately, the foundation of power is the ability to guide yourself before attempting to guide anyone else. An emotionally reactive person cannot lead others, cannot negotiate effectively, cannot protect themselves from manipulation, and cannot see beyond immediate impulses. Emotional coldness grants you a higher vantage point. From up there, the games people play, games of ego, insecurity, and dominance, become visible. You stop engaging in these battles because you no longer need to. You are not provoked, not disturbed, not controlled. You become the one who watches, not the one being watched. The one who dictates the pace, not the one forced to respond. This is the mindset from which true power grows. Power is rarely found in those who display it openly. The loud, aggressive, and visibly dominant figures may intimidate the weak, but they never influence the strong. The most effective power in this world moves quietly, hidden behind gentleness, patience, and restraint. To appear gentle is to lower the guard of others, to make them believe you are harmless, agreeable, and predictable. Yet behind this softness must exist a core of steel, a mind capable of decisive action, a will that cannot be bent, and a strategy sharper than any sword. This duality is what separates those who merely seek power from those who truly possess it. When you appear gentle, people underestimate you. They assume you are easy to manipulate, easy to deceive, and easy to overlook. They speak openly around you because they do not feel threatened. They reveal their intentions without realizing they're giving you valuable information. They expose their weaknesses because they see you as no danger. This underestimation is not a disadvantage. It is your greatest weapon. People are most careless around those they believe cannot challenge them. By allowing them to believe this, you gain access to insights that a more intimidating presence would never receive. Operating with steel means that while you present softness on the surface, your inner world is structured, deliberate, and disciplined. You know exactly when to stay silent and when to strike. You do not react emotionally, you respond strategically. You do not show irritation, fear, or anger. You let others display theirs, learning how they think and how they can be used. Your gentleness becomes a mask through which you observe the true nature of everyone around you. This is not deception. It is survival in a world where showing your strength too early invites unnecessary conflict. The most dangerous mistake a person can make is revealing their power prematurely. When you show strength openly, you awaken the insecurities of others. You trigger competition, jealousy, resistance, and sabotage. Even those who could have been allies begin seeing you as a threat. But when you appear gentle, you bypass the defenses of the ambitious. They do not see you as a rival, so they do not feel the need to challenge you. They believe you are beneath them, and that belief becomes the trap. The wisest individuals know that the most powerful position is the one the world does not see until it is too late. Gentleness also grants you access to influence that force could never win. People trust those who seem kind, calm, and humble. They confide in them because they want to believe in the goodness they see. They project their own intentions onto your gentle demeanor. They imagine you harmless because it comforts them. Influencing someone who has voluntarily opened their guard is infinitely easier than trying to dominate someone who feels threatened. Appearing gentle allows you to shape opinions, sway decisions, and redirect people without resistance. They follow you not out of fear, but because they underestimate the guiding hand behind your words. To operate with steel means that beneath your gentle appearance lies unwavering boundaries. You do not explode in anger, but your silence carries consequences. You do not argue, yet people feel the weight of disappointing you. You do not display aggression, but you are not afraid to take decisive action when necessary. You understand that the quietest decisions are often the most powerful. Public confrontation is noisy and messy. Silent moves, withdrawal, repositioning, cutting ties, shifting alliances, carry far more impact. Steel does not need to announce itself. It is felt, not heard. This approach also allows you to choose your battles wisely. When people see you as gentle, they assume you are uninterested in power struggles. They waste their energy fighting each other while you conserve yours. When conflict erupts, you watch, you learn, and you wait. You strike only when the outcome is secure, when opponents are weakened, or when acting will serve your future position. While others burn themselves out proving their strength, your quiet resilience grows. People mistake your restraint for weakness, and this mistake leads them into miscalculations that ultimately strengthen your position. Appearing gentle also protects you from envy. When people believe you are not a threat, they feel comfortable around you. They share opportunities, support your growth, and, ironically, help you rise, never realizing they are building a position you will soon wield with immense force. Gentleness disarms the insecure, the jealous, and the egotistical. They feel superior to you, and this illusion keeps them from interfering with your plans. But once your steel is revealed, only at the right moment, in the right situation, they realize too late that they underestimated the wrong person. Operating with steel means that every action is intentional. You do not speak unless your words serve a purpose. You do not show strength unless the moment demands it. You do not confront unless the outcome is guaranteed. This level of control requires patience, discipline, and the ability to put ego aside. Ego wants to prove your strength immediately. Strategy wants to conceal it until it secures victory. The steel within you is forged from your ability to prioritize long-term advantage over temporary satisfaction. In a world filled with impulsive egos, loud personalities, and fragile pride, the one who appears gentle but operates with steel becomes unstoppable. They move without drawing attention, they influence without resistance, they strike without warning. Their true power remains hidden until it reshapes the entire situation. This is the kind of power most people never see coming because they mistake gentleness for weakness and silence for submission. But behind both lies a strategy designed to win without unnecessary battles and dominate without revealing the weapons you carry within. Power has never depended on truth alone. It has always depended on perception. The world rarely reacts to reality. It reacts to what people believe reality is. Those who control perception shape the decisions, emotions, and actions of others long before the truth ever emerges. This is why the great players of power prioritize influence over accuracy, image over fact, and narrative over detail. They understand that controlling how others see a situation is more important than the situation itself. When you master perception, you no longer need to force outcomes. They unfold naturally in your favor. People think they make rational choices, but most decisions come from impression, emotion, and assumption. The mind does not analyze every detail. It forms quick judgments. It fills gaps. It relies on instinct. This psychological shortcut is what allows perception to be manipulated so easily. If someone appears confident, they are assumed competent. If someone appears calm under pressure, they are assumed strong. If someone appears decisive, people follow them without questioning. Your appearance becomes your silent weapon, shaping how others interpret your intentions, your value, and your power. To control perception, you must first control what you show and what you hide. Not every thought deserves to be spoken. Not every emotion deserves to be revealed. Not every victory should be celebrated publicly, and not every strategy should be disclosed. The moment people understand your full intentions, they begin calculating around them. But when you reveal only fragments, just enough to guide their interpretation while concealing the core. You control their understanding of you. They fill the blanks with assumptions, and assumptions are easier to guide than the truth. Perception is influenced by consistency. If you react the same way under pressure, people start to assume you are unshakable. If you speak carefully and avoid unnecessary explanations, people assume you have nothing to prove. If you maintain your composure even when challenged, people assume you are stronger than the one provoking you. These impressions take root quietly, and once they settle into the minds of others, they shape your reputation. Reputation is the invisible armor of power. It protects you before you even act. It deters threats, attracts allies, and creates expectations that work in your favor. However, controlling perception is not only about how you present yourself, it's also about how you allow others to present themselves. When someone shows arrogance, insecurity, impulsiveness, or desperation, do not correct them. Let them expose themselves. People reveal more in their attempts to impress or intimidate than they ever intend. Their actions create perceptions too, and these perceptions weaken them. The contrast between your restraint and their lack of control makes you appear stronger without having to prove anything. Power often comes from letting others reveal their incompetence. To influence perception effectively, you must understand timing. A well-timed silence often speaks louder than a loud rebuttal. A strategic pause can create uncertainty, making others question their assumptions. Agreeing softly can make them believe you are compliant, only for them to later discover you were simply observing. The ability to use time as a tool, delaying responses, choosing your moments, stepping back or stepping forward, allows you to guide how the world interprets your presence. Perception is not created instantly. It is shaped through patterns. When your actions are deliberate, people begin to connect dots you placed intentionally. Narrative is another powerful instrument. Every situation has multiple interpretations, and the one that prevails becomes the truth people act upon. By subtly framing events in a certain way through suggestion, tone, or the details you choose to highlight, you can guide how others interpret reality. You don't need to lie, you simply direct attention. Draw focus to what benefits you and downplay what doesn't. People believe the story that feels strongest, not the one that is most accurate. The art lies in guiding that story without ever appearing to control it. But perception must never turn into arrogance. If you try too hard to appear powerful, people sense the performance. They feel the desperation behind it. Authentic confidence comes from restraint, not display. True power comes from the impression that you could dominate if you wished, not from constant demonstrations that you can. When you overexert yourself to appear strong, you reveal insecurity. When you remain composed, people assume strength. Their assumptions do the work for you. Controlling perception is about subtlety, not force. There is also a defensive benefit. When you control how others see you, you prevent them from placing you into roles you never chose. If people believe you are weak, they will try to use you. If they believe you are aggressive, they will unite against you. But if they see you as calm, fair, and strategic, they approach you with respect and caution. You shape the way they treat you by shaping what they think you are capable of. Power grows from this awareness. Perception is the gatekeeper of opportunity. Yet the most profound advantage of controlling perception is that people follow what they trust. When they trust your stability, they trust your judgment. When they trust your judgment, they surrender influence without realizing it. They believe your interpretations, rely on your insights, and adopt your decisions as their own. This is the highest form of power, not forcing your will, but making others believe it was their idea to follow it. Once you reach this point, outcomes naturally bend toward your favor because the minds around you are already shaped by the perception you crafted. In the end, those who master perception do not need to argue, compete loudly, or prove themselves constantly. Their influence operates silently, shaping environments and minds long before any visible action is taken. Control what people see, and you will control what they think. Control what they think, and you control how they behave. Control how they behave, and you control the outcome. Power is not something you chase with aggression, nor something you display to gain validation. It is something you cultivate quietly, internally, until it becomes part of your identity. The lessons you've learned here, emotional coldness, the ability to appear gentle while operating with steel, and the mastery of shaping perception, are not just strategies, they are transformations of the self. They are the foundations upon which unshakable presence is built. Most people lose themselves the moment pressure hits them. They react without thinking, reveal themselves without realizing, and expose their weaknesses in the name of pride. But those who rise above the masses do the opposite. They respond instead of reacting. They observe instead of announcing. They act with intention instead of impulse. They understand that the true battlefield is not the world outside, but the one within. The calmer your inner world becomes, the more control you gain over the outer one. When you understand that appearing gentle disarms enemies and attracts allies, while maintaining inner steel protects your position, you stop wasting energy trying to prove your worth. Your power becomes quiet but undeniable. People feel it without needing explanations. They sense your stability, your discipline, and your ability to stay centered while they unravel under their own emotions. You walk into rooms differently, not loudly, but with an authority that cannot be faked. And when you master perception, you begin to see the world for what it is, a place shaped not by truth, but by the beliefs people cling to. You learn that guiding those beliefs, subtly, patiently, strategically, is far more effective than fighting battles head-on. You stop letting others define you, provoke you, or draw you into conflicts that do not serve your growth. You become the one who influences outcomes simply by understanding human nature better than those around you. The path to this kind of power is not easy. It requires restraint when your ego wants to rage. It requires silence when you want to prove a point. It requires patience when you crave immediate results. But in mastering these principles, you rise to a level of control that very few ever reach. You become the person no one sees coming, the one who moves with intention, the one who cannot be manipulated, provoked, or misled. This is the kind of power most people are not ready for, not because it is complex, but because it demands a level of self-discipline that modern life rarely teaches. But once you embrace it, you stop playing the small games others are trapped in. You begin moving with a different mindset, a different presence, a different purpose. You no longer seek power. You embody it.